Hello, second grade friends, and welcome to the second part of today's math lesson. We again are doing 7.4 for today, which is show amounts in two ways. And again, we're answering the essential question: how do you choose coins to show a money amount in different ways? So, in other words, if we have an amount that we are either trying to produce, or if somebody is charging us for something and they're charging us a certain amount, what are some different ways that we can use coin combinations to make that amount? So there's many different ways for all different types of money amounts. So it says use the coins to show 27 cents, write the amount. Okay, so we have all of our quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies here, and we're trying to get 27 cents. So again, remember in the last video I kind of told you, think about a way that would get you your total amount using the least amount of coins. So I know that we have one coin that is 25 cents, which is only 2 cents less than what our total is. We're trying to get 27. And so I know that that coin is the quarter, right? A quarter is 25 cents. So using a quarter is going to help me use the least amount of coins possible. So I have 25 cents here with just this quarter. And so now I only need 2 more cents. So I can't use a dime because a dime is worth 10. I can't use a nickel because a nickel is worth 5. So I am going to use pennies. And so I have 25. A penny is 26. And then if I add another penny, that will make 27. So 27 cents can be made with just a quarter and 2 pennies. Okay? And so here we have 27 cents. Okay. Now it says here are 2 ways to show 30 cents. Count the cents and start with the dimes. So here are our dimes, right? We have 10, 20, 25, 30. Okay? Now Alicia, if you remember from the video, last video, Alicia did hers a little bit differently than Matthew. Okay, and she did the same thing again here. So for this one, Alicia used a quarter, which is 25 cents. From there, she knew that all she needed was 5 more cents to make 30 cents, so she added 1 nickel. So a quarter, which is 25, add a nickel, which is 5, to that 25, and you also get 30 cents. So both Matthew and Alicia show 2 different ways to make 30 cents. Now it says, look at Matthew's way. If you trade 2 dimes and 1 nickel for blank, the coins will show Alicia's way. Okay, so in other words, what are we going to take those 2 dimes and that nickel, and what are we going to trade it in for? So the one thing that both Matthew and Alicia have in common is that they both use 1 nickel. So what we're going to do, if you're Matthew, right, Matthew's going to trade his 2 dimes and 1 nickel for 1 quarter. Okay, and so if you trade 2 dimes and 1 nickel for 1 quarter, the coins will show Alicia's way. Okay, so it says use coins and show the amount in 2 ways. So we're going to be trying 61 cents. So again, I always like to start by using the quarters because the quarters are worth the most, right? So if I take 1 quarter, I have 25 cents. If I take another quarter, that means I have 50 cents, and I'm only 11 cents away from my total, right? So 25, 50. If I added another quarter, that would put me over 61 cents because 3 quarters is 75 cents, okay? So I'm going to start with my 2 quarters, which is 50 cents. Then I'm going to add a dime. And a dime is going to get me 60 cents, right? 25, 50, 60. And then all I need is 1 more cent. And I know that a penny is valuable of 1 cent. So there is one way that I can show 61 cents. 2 quarters, a dime, and a penny. Now, let's say I wanted to get some nickels in there. So what I might do is maybe just start with 1 quarter. Okay, so that's 25 cents. Then let's say I wanted to throw a nickel in there. But first I'm gonna use some dimes because dimes are a little bit more valuable, right? So I have 25 cents. I add 1 dime. I now have 35 cents. I add another dime, I now have 45 cents. Another dime, 55 cents. Now, if I added one more dime, that would put me at 65 cents, and that's going over our total, right? So now that I have 25, 35, 45, 55, now I can use that nickel that I wanted to use, because now I have 60 cents. Okay, and then last but not least, to get 61, I'm going to add that 1 penny again. Okay, so these are two different ways that you can make 61 cents. All right, so again, 2 quarters, a dime, and a penny could equal 61 cents, but also 1 quarter, 3 dimes, a nickel, and a penny could also equal 61 cents. Okay. Use coins, show the amounts in 2 ways, so 36. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to start with my quarter because I can use a quarter. So I have 25 cents there. Then I add a dime, so that would be 35 cents. So 25, 35, and then I add 1 penny to make 36. Now, another way that I can do 36 cents is, let's start with using some dimes. So I can use 3 dimes to make 36 cents because 3 dimes equals 30. So which means I only have 6 more cents to get to my total. All right. Now, an easy way, I could use 6 pennies, but I'm also trying to think of what would be an easier way that uses less coins. And so I know that if I have 30 cents and I'm trying to get to 36, I can also use 1 nickel because a nickel is 5 cents. So 3 dimes and a nickel would be 35. And then all I'd have to do to get 36 is add on that 1 penny. Okay, so again, an example of 2 ways, but both of those ways still represent the same total, 36 cents. So it says Lee buys a pen for 50 cents. Show 2 different ways to pay 50 cents. So 50 cents is actually a really easy one because we know that one way is just by using 2 quarters, right? Because again, quarters are 25 cents each, so 25, 50. So there we have 50 cents right there. Now, another way that we can do this is, let's say if we traded in one of those quarters. So now we're only using 1 quarter. So we have 25 cents. Let's use some dimes. 35 cents and 45 cents. Okay? Now, in order to get 50, we could use 5 pennies, or we could also use a nickel because a nickel is worth 5. So we basically took away 1 quarter from the first way we did it and traded it in for 2 dimes and a nickel, and both of those ways equal 50 cents. Now let's look at our last problem. So it says use coins to solve. Delia used 4 coins to buy a book for 40 cents. Use coins to show 2 ways to pay 40 cents with 4 coins. So we're only using 4 coins. Okay, well, so the easiest way that we can think of 40 cents with using 4 coins is simply by using 4 dimes, right? So each dime is worth 10 cents, and so if we have 4 of those dimes, then we will have 40 cents because all we have to do is count by tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40. There we go. We have 40 cents using 4 coins. Now, let's try and think of another way that we can use 4 coins to make 40 cents. So again, let's start with a quarter because a quarter we know we can use because that's 25 cents. So that might be able to kind of limit the number of coins that we use, right? So again, 25 cents. Now, if I used a dime, that would put me at 35 cents. And then we would only need either a nickel, which would give us 3 coins, or we would need 5 pennies, which would give us more than 4 coins. So we got to think of another way to make 40 cents using a quarter and 3 other coins. And so when I think of that, I think of using the nickel, which is 25 cents. I'm sorry, which is 5 cents. So a quarter is 25. If I add 1 nickel, I now have 30 cents. I add another nickel, I have 35 cents. And then I add 1 more nickel, and now I have 40 cents with 4 coins. So 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay, so these are both ways where you can show 40 cents using only 4 coins. You can show it with 4 dimes, or you can show it with a quarter and 3 nickels. Okay? All right, and so the last question that we have here says Rex buys an eraser that costs 20 cents. Which group of coins has a total value of 20 cents? So 2 nickels and 10 pennies. So 2 nickels would be 10 cents. And then if we added 10 pennies, that would be like adding 10 plus 10, which would be 20. So A is the answer. Let's just make sure there's not any other correct answers here. So if we have a dime and a nickel, 1 dime would be 10 cents, and then a nickel would add 5 to that, so that would be 15 cents. So that one doesn't work. And then we have 3 nickels and a dime. So 3 nickels, right? 5, 10, 15 cents. Add a dime, which would be 10 more, so that would be 25 cents. That does not work either. And then our last option is we have 1 quarter and 5 pennies. Well, we know that 1 quarter is already more than 20 cents because 1 quarter is 25 cents. So adding 5 pennies would make that 30 cents. So we already know right off the top of our head that 1 quarter is already more than 20 cents. So D cannot be an option either. So that leaves us with answer A is the correct answer. Okay? All right. So nice job today. That was the last question on our slides for today. So remember, just a quick kind of rundown of this lesson. So basically, what it's about is finding different ways to get the same total amount, right? So if you're buying something, again, Delia is buying a book for 40 cents. She can buy it with 4 dimes. But what if she doesn't have 4 dimes? What if she only has some quarters, nickels, and pennies? What would be another way that she can also buy the book? And we answered that question by also showing that she can also pay for the book with a quarter and 3 nickels. Okay? So it's, again, just about having options, having the option to pay for something in a number of different ways in case you don't have the coins that you need, right? If Delia didn't have 4 dimes, then there's another way that she can pay for the book by using a quarter, 3 nickels. There could have been other ways where she could have used the quarter and the dime and the pennies, okay? But she wanted to use 4 coins, and these were 2 options for her to use. Okay, so it's really just all about having options and thinking of other ways to pay for something without, changing that total, the total amount. Okay, everybody? So now you guys can go on to Think Central. You can log in and you can complete the assignment for chapter 7.4. And hopefully this little extra practice and these extra examples helped you better understand how you can find a total amount of something using 2 different collections of coins. Okay, everybody, great job today, and good luck on your homework for chapter 7.4. Bye.